superchoke liquid oxygen occurs at startup. So they are on your screen. Dragon Resilience with the Inspiration 4 crew strapped in their seats there at the top of the rocket. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is the first all-civilian mission to orbit, and they are going to space in 7.5 minutes. They will be ascending to an altitude of 575 kilometers above Earth and orbiting Earth at that altitude for 3 days. There's that crew there on your screen. Far left seat is Chris Zembrowski. Next to him, Dr. Cyan Proctor, the pilot. Next to her to the right, Commander Jared Isaacman. And to the right of Jared, Haley Arsenault, the medical officer.
Stage 1 engine chill has started.
All right, there's that call that Stage 1 engine chill has started.
We don't really have a good view, but right now, the base of the Falcon 9, 9 middle engines are beginning to pack a little bit of liquid oxygen overboard down into that flame bucket. As Kate says, that's chilling in the turbo pumps in preparation for going to high-speed flow at T-2 seconds. Nice view on top of the fixed service structure looking down at Dragon. Transport erector or strongback is currently still clamped onto the second stage right next to the vehicle. We'll see that retract starting about 4.5 minutes before launch when the arms open up and then the strongback will recline away a couple of degrees. What we're getting ready for right now is that call out. We're right on time. The fuel load, the RP1 kerosene, refined petroleum 1, rocket propellant 1 grade, is loaded onto the first stage. So that leaves us with just liquid oxygen loading continuing on both first and second stage. You can see that moist Florida air slowly breezing by the 2 chilled down liquid oxygen tanks. And you can see the mist coming off with the moisture, humidity, and the air condenses. Gives you those clouds.
Yeah, that super chilled liquid oxygen coming into contact with the ambient Florida air. So creates these puffs of white clouds. As John said, completely normal. In fact, we will be seeing more of those once LOX load completes and those lines are closed off to the vehicle. Coming up in just about 10 seconds, we should be hearing the call that Dragon has been transitioned to its terminal count configuration.
Dragon has transitioned to configure for terminal count. Falcon 9 tanks are pressurizing for strongback retract.
Everything continuing to go on schedule. We're beginning to pressurize the tanks. That'll help stiffen the second stage up as the 2 hydraulic clamp arms will open up coming up here very shortly.
Strongback is lowering.
As you can see on the timeline there, at the bottom of your screen, the strongback retraction is the next major event. In fact, the last physical event or modification to the pad prior to liftoff. Falcon 9 is nearly fully loaded with almost 1 million pounds of liquid kerosene and liquid oxygen. That liquid oxygen is what we see venting there, those white clouds. All right, there on your screen, you can see that the strongback is beginning to retract.
And Kate, that strongback will move back just a couple of degrees you see here. Then at T0, when the Falcon 9 sends the liftoff command to the ground to release it, hydraulics will bring that strongback the rest of the way to about a 45-degree position at liftoff.
Stage 1 LOX load complete.
We've got the call out right on time. first stage liquid oxygen loading is complete, shutting down the ground pumps. We're down to just loading second stage liquid oxygen.
All right, those that call out that Dragon is now running on its own power, is no longer connected to the power systems of Pad 39A. As you just heard, the crowd is super excited here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California, as we are now under 2.5 minutes until the launch of the Inspiration 4 crew. That crew there can be seen on the right-hand side of your screen, buckled in and ready to go.
I know, right, huh?
Stage 2 LOX load complete.
And there's the call that stage 2 LOX load is
Dragon
complete.
is in auto idle.
Does you realize?
Falcon is now fully loaded with all of its propellants.
Closeout will begin shortly. Expect loud venting.
Dude.
Announcement to let the crew know that as we vent off various lines on the launch pad, we'll hear some loud noises. Let the crew know that
there's this live stream and you can be part of history.
Out of the transporter record.
So how you're doing today, by the way?
Getting ready for launch.
Oh, okay.
Waiting for the startup call at T-minus 1 minute.
There's a second, I'm almost on again.
Oh, okay. Only 1 minute and 3 seconds left. Wait a minute. Retro Addict, you're about to witness history.
Commander calling down. Function SpaceX.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Copy, 1 Alpha.
Do false pitching downrange.
Yeah, look. I just witnessed history, dude.
T plus 30 seconds.
Bye.
Nominal, historic mission fleeing the Inspiration 4 crew. Onboard Dragon and Falcon 9. Let you on the crew in the capsule. We'll enter the throttle down into the throttle bucket.
Stage 1 countdown.
Elon Musk,
Throttle down.
you did a really great job.
Maximum dynamic pressure. Bring out the flight.
9 and supersonic.
Stage 1.
Elon Musk, you did a really great job. Good job.
We throttle back up and 1 Bravo, the call out from space. That's one of the abort sequences. That is a nominal call. Everything continues to be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed history.
acceleration, everything continues to look nominal. Hurling engines are throttling down for G limiting. 4 G, so we're holding it there for the crew. Major event coming up will be main engine cutoff, followed by stage separation, looking at the second stage engine nozzle, and then ignition of the second stage.
And Miko. Stage separation.
I'm sure the crew felt another kick in the G's there as it ignited. Officially, the Inspiration 4 crew are now on their latest space. First stage booster there on the left-hand side of your screen is making its way back down to Earth. The grid fins have popped out to assist with the steering. It will be making a landing attempt on our drone ship. Just read the instructions, which is parked out in holding position in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, so we have a couple of views on
Acquisition
screen.
signal, Bermuda.
As Kate mentioned, the left-hand side is a view from the top of our first stage looking down. That has already separated from the second stage and is making its way back to Earth. The velocity of the first
Dragon
stage
SpaceX trajectory nominal.
is being tracked on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. On the right-hand side of your screen is a view of our second stage Merlin vacuum engine. On the opposite end of that engine is the second stage and the crew, which sits on top of the second stage. Everything looks to be going normally with them. And you can also track the velocity on the second stage on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. We also have awesome views of the crew inside of their capsule as well.
I'm pretty sure during first stage ascent, I saw Dr. Cyan Proctor. I'm pretty sure I saw Dr. Cyan Proctor give us 2 thumbs up. I'm sure she enjoyed this ride that she's been waiting for her entire life.
One notable thing too is we're getting some twilight views. The sun just set in Florida, but we're high enough up where the light around the horizon is also reflecting off of very high altitude objects, such as the first and second stages.
Dragon SpaceX trajectory nominal.
Love to hear that call out, trajectory nominal from the guidance engineer. Also notice we're really up there now, well past 100 kilometers.
Acquisition signal, New Hampshire.
Just before that view switched, we saw some teammate fist bumps going on there inside of the cabin.
And they look like they're having a fun ride there. And their journey isn't over. We've got about 7 more minutes until Dragon separates from the second stage.
Yes, next milestone for this mission is actually going to be happening on the first stage. It's going to be performing a re-entry burn that's going to be coming up around the T+7 minute and 30-second mark. That burn is used to slow down the first stage before it re-enters the denser parts of the atmosphere. A few minutes later, it will execute a landing burn and make an attempt to land on our drone ship that's currently parked in the Atlantic Ocean.
Dragon SpaceX trajectory nominal.
So far,
Sorry.
I'm just gonna say, so far, everything looking great for the Inspiration 4 crew. Hearing that everything is proceeding nominally there with the second stage, which is what you see on the right-hand side.
Energy propulsion terminal.
I was just gonna say that MVAC engine we just heard now is looking nominal.
About a minute left to go before the first stage performs its first burn.
And on your left-hand side, looking at the first stage, you may see those white puffs. Those are the nitrogen puffs helping to steer and guide the vehicle. Basically
Dragon SpaceX trajectory nominal.
is the attitude control for the vehicle as it makes its way back down to Earth.
There's the crew on the right-hand side of your screen. I think I see some more thumbs up there. Dr. Proctor is clearly excited that she's finally in space. Again, this mission will be orbiting Earth for 3 days, and they will be at an altitude of 575 kilometers, which, if I remember correctly, John you said that that is the distance from Los Angeles to the Golden Gate Bridge.
There you go. They're gonna get there a lot faster.
Altitude of TSA.
Right now,
Again, this first stage has already separated from the second stage. So the first stage is making its way back to Earth, trying to land, and the second stage, everything is going well. It is headed into orbit with the crew on board.
Actually, there on your screen, you can see a sunrise horizon there with planet Earth just behind the glowing MVAC engine.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
all on stage 2 of terminal guidance. We're at the altitude. We're working the angular momentum we need to get into the right orbit. If you're wondering, cruise pulled about 3.5 Gs right now, less than it took on the first stage flight.
So in about 15 seconds, we are expecting
Copy Shannon.
we are expecting
down.
the MVAC to throttle down and cut off an event called second engine cutoff, and then we'll wait for the confirmation of good orbit. At the same time, the first stage will be beginning its landing burn. And here we have the MVAC. We just saw that it shut off its engine.
Nominal orbit insertion, that's amazing news for us as board.
An unexplored frontier. A few have come before, and many are about to follow. The door's opening now, and it's pretty incredible.
Stage 1 landing is.
We just heard from Jared thanking everyone for making this analysis. The Dragon capsule and crew are in a nominal orbit. In a few minutes here, we'll begin opening that. In a few minutes here, we'll separate from the second stage, and then shortly after that, we'll begin opening that nose cone. At the same time, we landed our first stage on the drone ship, which is super exciting.
I thought the second stage action wasn't exciting enough.
Right.
So there's that MVAC engine, like we mentioned before, it has already shut down in an event known as second engine cutoff. And the crew are now gliding, if you will.
Now, one thing right now is we're coming up just under 11 minutes in the flight. We're waiting another minute and a half or so before we get into the separation sequence, where the second stage is going through a series of events where we make sure that gases are all pushed out of the system. There aren't any what they call disturbance.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the stream. See you later on the next video. Bye.
It's not moving around. It's not doing anything. So we give it a few minutes to actually just vent everything down.